Hi, I'm Dom. I'm part of the sales team here at Roofmaker. I'm here to show you how to correctly install your flat modular roof light. But if you have any queries or concerns, you can contact our technical department at any time for any advice or assistance. The first point to remember is that all our flat roof lights are triple glazed as standard. This means that a single panel can weigh as much as 70 kilograms, which is why we recommend a team of 4 people for the safe installation of a roof light. Check the table that comes with your kit for the approximate weight and glazing splits, so you're familiar with the task at hand. In addition to your flat modular roof light kit, you will also need silicone adhesive sealant. We recommend Dow Corning 791 or similar, a drill with a high-speed steel drill bit, a posi drive, glazing packers for the accurate positioning of glass panels throughout the installation, handheld glass suction pads, a minimum of 2 double pads or 4 single pads with a combined lifting capability of 100 kilos, 50mm timber screws, masking tape, a silicone sealant smoothing tool, a damp cloth to wipe off any excess silicone as required, a tape measure and a pencil, materials to prepare a timber frame, and finally a Stanley knife. Please make sure you have all the components on the checklist attached to the side of the box. If there's anything missing, please give us a call. Before you begin construction on your new flat roof light, you need to ensure that there's a timber curb created around the opening aperture. This curb needs to match the internal dimensions of the roof light. In this case, the roof light would be 4 meters by 2 meters, so your aperture needs to match up to that. When installing the timber curb, make sure that the inside of the curb is flush with the inside of the aperture. The curb should measure 75 millimeters in width to match the width of the built-in upstand that you're going to assemble. We also recommend a minimum curb height of 25 millimeters from roof level, but you can go higher if you need to. Finally, if your roof doesn't already have a pitch between 5 and 15 degrees, you'd need to ensure that this has been created in your upstand to allow easy water runoff. In regards to the roofing membrane, we advise you apply this after the installation of the roof light to prevent you puncturing or damaging this while you're working. However, if this is done prior to the installation, please ensure that you have enough material to run up the upstand underneath the integrated drip lip. You can just fold this up and tuck it neatly out of the way while you're working. The upstand will come ready for assembly. The number of pieces will depend on the size of the roof light you have ordered. If your roof light is less than 3.3 meters in length, the upstand will come in 4 sections, so you will just have to join the frame in the mitered corners. For roof lights from 3.3 to 6.8 meters, you'll have 6 sections in total, the 2 ends and 4 pieces for the lengths, which you'll need to join together. And finally, for roof lights between 6.8 and 10.3 meters, you'll have a total of 8 pieces. The 2 ends and the lengths are split into 3 parts each. In this video, we will be featuring a unit that's 4 by 2 meters. So there will only be 6 pieces for you to assemble. Start by ensuring your pieces are laid the right way up, around your curb, the corners are mitered and the joins are squared off. Slot the supplied cleats into the frame as shown and push the pieces together like this. Then locate the pre-formed holes on the top of the upstand. Slot screws in temporarily to stop the frame coming apart as you work. Add a touch of silicone and wipe away any excess using the damp cloth. That's the sides done. Now let's move on to the corners. Take the 2 corner cleats and insert them into one of the mitered corners. Add some silicone along the edges and screw the 2 pieces together with 4 screws. Wipe off any excess silicone and repeat for the other 3 corners. When all of your sections are joined, carefully turn the upstand over so the underside is facing upwards. Locate the 4 pre-formed holes at each join and screw them together. Put a spot of silicone into the drip lip at all points where the sections of the upstand meet, and a bead on the inside angle of the join of the corners. Wipe off any excess and turn the upstand back the right way up and move it to one side. Now you're ready to fix the upstand to the timber curb. Apply a thick bead of silicone all the way around the timber curb, about 20 mil from the outside edge. Then carefully place the assembled upstand onto the curb so that it sits flush on top. You now need to secure the upstand to the timber curb. First, you'll need to pre-drill your holes into the aluminium frame, approximately 100 mm from each corner. Screw through the upstand into the timber underneath. We recommend you also fix across the width of the roof light, both in the center and at roughly 1 meter intervals along the length. The final stage in the preparation of the upstand is to take the roll of sticky back foam edging provided in the kit and apply it to both sides of the upstand as shown. Moving on to the glazing panels, there are two important points to remember. Firstly, the even spacing between each glazing panel. Not only will this give a great appearance to the roof light, but will ensure a good waterproof seal. We've come up with an easy way to do this using our glazing packers. These are exactly 5 mm deep, so combining 3 together like this and slotting them into the gap along the end, you know you're pretty much spot on. The second is to make sure you use the correct panel in the corresponding position in the roof light. There are two different types of panel, one with 3 thick painted ceramic borders and a single thin painted ceramic edge, and one with 2 thick painted ceramic borders and 2 thin ones. Now you're ready to take the first panel with 3 wide ceramic edges and position it inside the upstand so that the edge with the thinner ceramic edge is facing inwards. Next, insert your 3 packers as already mentioned between the edge of the panel and the upstand. This will give you the correct spacing. You are now ready to position the first T-bar. But first you need to measure exactly where it's going to sit on the upstand. Mark the inside rows of foam edging on both sides of the upstand where the edge of the panel sits. Lift out the glass and make a second mark 35 mm either side of the ones you've already made. The T-bars come pre-prepared with glazing tape, but before you position it, you need to remove the first 5 centimeters of the protective covering from both sides at the ends of the bar. Fold it to the back of the T-bar. This will give you something to hold onto once you're finished and need to remove the tape from the inside of the roof light. Don't remove all the tape, otherwise you won't be able to reposition the T-bar. Carefully locate the T-bar into the gap you've cut in the foam, and then reposition the glass pane on top. Don't forget to use the packers to ensure even spacing between the pane and the upstand. Use 2 more single packers to create a 5 mm gap between the inside edge of the pane and the spine of the T-bar. The second panel of glass that you will place into the frame will have a wide ceramic border on 2 sides. The wide borders go on the top and bottom, and the narrow borders adjoining the other panels. Use 2 more single packers to create a 5 mm gap from the T-bar, and use bundles of 3 packers to space the second panel from the edges, just like you did previously. Mark the inside row of foam as you did before, lift out the panel and create another 70 mm wide cut in the foam. Repeat this process for each panel until you're ready to do the last one. Offer up the panel to its intended slot and check 2 things before you proceed. Firstly, will it fit in? If it won't, you need to narrow the gap between the other panels as shown. Secondly, if you have more than 15 mm gap between the end of the upstand and the panel, you'll need to widen the gap between the other panes. If you don't, you'll risk the weather penetrating the roof light. Try and keep all the gaps the same as each other, but it is more important that the panes don't touch the central spine of the T-bar. If this is unavoidable, reposition the T-bar slightly to create the required 5 mm gap. Once you are happy all glazing has been set neatly and accurately, you are nearly ready to seal up the unit with the silicone provided. Take the roll of foam edging without the sticky backing and push it into the gap between the glass panels and the upstand frame on all 4 sides of the roof light, pushing it down as far as possible. Mask all 4 sides of each panel as shown, leaving approximately 1 mm between the tape and the edge of the glass, so you don't pull any silicone out of the join. Apply a generous amount of silicone into the spaces between your glass panels and the perimeter gap. Use a smoothing tool to create a nice flat finish. Remove the masking tape and double check there are no gaps in the silicone. Wipe away any excess with your damp cloth. From the inside of the roof light, carefully peel away the glazing tape protective covering from the T-bars. There will be 2 strips for each T-bar. Okay, job almost done. You're now ready to flash up your upstand with your chosen roofing membrane. If you're using a sheet membrane, you need to make sure that it's tucked right under the dedicated drip lip that sits just underneath the glass. This is important as it acts as the final weathering stage to avoid water ingress in this area. If you're using a torch-on felt, you need to cut your membrane to the correct size, fold back and preheat with your heat gun. Only then should you apply it to the side of your unit. This avoids damage to the unit which would be caused if applying heat directly. If you're using GRP to finish the roof, silicone bond a 4mm plywood border around the upstand and curb. You can screw this into the timber curb if you wish to make this more secure. What this does is provide a more suitable surface for the GRP to adhere to. Again, ensure that this goes right up underneath the drip lip as the diagram shows. And also, ensure that your GRP membrane finishes underneath the drip lip. Okay, your roof light assembly is now finished. For internal plasterboard finishing details, please refer to our cross-section installation guide. We hope this video has helped to make the installation of your roof light easy and trouble-free. If you have any questions or need further information, please contact our technical department who are always there to help. And finally, we are so confident in the quality of our roof lights, they come with a 20-year unit seal warranty. For further information, please visit our website www.roofmaker.co.uk.